Hello, potato.
Potato.
Hello, potato.
Hello, potato.
Hello, potato.
Hello, potato. We are here. Well, you'd be forgiven thinking where we are is perhaps the outskirts of hell or near the Earth's core, because it is friggin' hot. But we are at day one of SacAnime Summer 2022 down here at the Safe Credit Union and, of course, the lovely Sacramento Sheraton. And normally I say that first day is the chillest day because it's less busy, but there ain't nothing chill about this. We're in the shade right now and it's still probably 100 and something degrees. But hopefully the since it's all remodeled, it's only like a year old, the Safe Credit Union Convention Center has top of the line air conditioning that is working at peak efficiency. So wristbands up, let's go see what there is to see.
Did you pick them up yesterday? No.
If you need to cool off, there's always Dippin' Dots, ice cream of the future. And thankfully, yes, the air conditioning here does seem to be working pretty well. So that's a first spot of good news. So in the vending hall, Friday is not usually too super busy. Still pretty crowded, but let's take a look around. So some of the lights went out. I don't know if it was a brownout or if it's just a mistake. But I mean, we are definitely in a risk of like power outages with as hot as it is.
This way. Yeah, I don't know what way. There's no big part. It's like, it's the left part. I'm gonna go up.
It is time to refuel with our SacAnime staple, the upper crust pizza. I think the only all-you-can-eat pizza place, or actually only all-you-can-eat place here at all. Also, you know, not the cheapest option, but certainly the best bang for your buck. Unfortunately, now all they have is Hawaiian pizza, so we're kind of waiting for the refill on that, but I do have myself a lovely salad, and I just noticed, over there at IMAX, they're playing Jaws. That would be really cool to see Jaws in like IMAX, especially if it's like IMAX 3D. So hopefully some pizza will be coming out soon. But until then, I'm going to start on my salad.
I just don't know any routes aside from what are the contents of said protocols? I can't read any of this. I know there's a little figure inside this one.
Well, now we know that SacAnime has made some level of importance because we have Verizon here shilling at the convention. That's usually it's like Scientology or Vegetable of the Month Club or New York Life Insurance. It's the first time we've had Verizon.
I don't have it on like right here, but like anywhere else.
Maybe if you connect it to the internet here.
So I came yesterday and Thursday. Okay, and then you picked up and the week.
I'm like 5 meters tall. Let's go.
Well, it's only so long you can walk around here without having to stop and recaffeinate. Now, normally we would go to the Starbucks that's like a block down that way, but they're probably closed by this time, and frankly, it's way too hot to walk out there. Also, just noticed an awful lot of people sitting under that sign that says no sitting or standing in this area. Just an observation. Also, they have put this fence across here to separate just your random con goers from people just wanting a little caffeine. Also, they have free water, which is nice because, again, it's way too... I don't know how you people in the cosplays, especially some of these like full body, like fursuit cosplays, I don't know how you do it. It is way too hot out there. I'm dying just on foot, but you guys, full costume, massive respect for doing that. Because a lot of you look great too. Actually, I think all of you look great. So massive respect for wearing those massive full body costumes in 100 and X degrees heat. So as the sun slowly begins to descend, although it's still rather hot out here, but not as hot, maybe because the sun's not as intense. But as it does start to descend, I think we will call it an end for day one. Not really any panels I'm particularly interested in. Don't really want to stay to the AMV contests. So I think we'll call it quits here for today. But we will be back for day two, which for me, of course, will be like, hours from now. But for you watching this will be just in a few seconds. So yeah, we're gonna call it the end of day one. We'll see you back here again momentarily for day two. I guess at some point they must have switched over to hourly parking. Hello, Potato. We are back here for day two of SacAnime Summer 2022, and as you can see, there's a bit of a line to get in today. which is a little weird because I thought the vending hall was already open for a bit. It's about noon that we're getting here. I thought the vending hall opened at like 10 a.m. or maybe that's just when the first panels were. But I'm not sure where the end of this queue really actually even is. So this could all be very interesting.
There's like 3 lines that are like back and forth. Maybe it starts back here.
So normally this is the kind of line we would find like at opening time on day 1. But yeah, this is a little chaotic. So I guess we're all just kind of merging in to one big line here, and we'll all get in eventually. So I guess let's enjoy the blazing summer sun and wait in line. Well, you don't need to wait in line, you're on video, but I'll see you as we get at least closer to the front. We're a little farther up in the line now. I'd say I am very surprised at this line. One, because I kind of wondered if the extreme heat this weekend might keep some people away, but also because the convention's been open for like a couple hours at this point. They've had panels at like 10 and 11 o'clock. I'm very surprised there's even a line like this to get in at noon. I figured there would be a snaggle potentially with parking, and there was, because they only had one gate open and they're taking prepay, not hourly. But I figured after that it would just be smooth sailing on in, but no, we do have a bit of a line. Thankfully it's not as hot as it's going to get yet, but we do have all of that still to snake through to even get around the corner, which at the other end of the block is the actual entrance. So it's still going to be a few more minutes, but I can at least enjoy some of the cool cosplays while we stand out here. Well, not cool. I'm sure they're actually quite warm, but some of the interesting cosplays while I'm out here. Yeah, I don't know. And we are in, so it's upstairs for the ballroom. So we're going to try and go to, oh, that's lovely, the down escalator is not functioning today. That's going to be fun. So we're going to try and go to, I believe it's the Pokemon voice actors panel. Of course, they're not going to allow recording in there, so we won't be able to like view any of that together. But I'm sure they have a channel where they're going to have it posted. So let's see if we can't jump in here and get up this escalator somehow. So that I'm very surprised they kept the old fountains. There's still no water in them, but I'm surprised they kept them. So this part of the building looks bizarrely familiar, because this is the part where at least like the main entrance to everything for SacAnime before the convention center got remodeled. And hopefully we can get actually into the vendors hall through here and not just have to leave the building. Like all the artwork is gone, all the stairs are still there, but it's a little different. It looks like we can get into the vendors hall through here, so that's nice. I have to like go out to the street and go around the front of the building. As you can see, it is a little busier in here, being Saturday. Let's take a quick look around. Unfortunately, we're kind of in the artist alley area, so I don't want to record too much back over here, but we can get a quick look at the crowd. So yeah, a little busier than yesterday.
Metal mystery dice. So this is a small set of metal dice sets with enamel pins. This is like a standard size with one mystery metal mini dice. And this is also just a tiny set of just resin dice.
Cool.
No, we're just having fun.
Who's next for pictures? Anybody? This is not. Oh, go for it. Oh, you don't Christmas? Stay there.
There you go. There's like
Of course, it wouldn't be SacAnime if we didn't have the hot dog carts spawning all over the place. But you know, I've had those before, and they're not bad. We're not having one today, but I've had them before, and you could do worse. So the Pacific Market Bar at the Sheraton is doing something a little new this year. They've got a special SacAnime menu. So we're gonna, I think, order a couple things. It's all fairly basic stuff, just with you know, kind of pop culture names given to it. But I think I'm gonna try a Sonic chili dog. So yeah, we're gonna order that, get a seat, and then we'll check out the Sonic's chili cheese dog. Is it like Sonic's as in the restaurant, or Sonic's because it's not possessive? Well, as long as it's good, we'll find out. All right, so I feel like they maybe were not prepared for the amount of extra business they would get by having a SacAnime menu, but our food is now here. My wife picked up the Halo Moa burger, and I have gone with the Sonic chili dog. Let's take a look and see what we got there. Oh, it looks pretty good. I have just now realized we have no utensils, or napkins. So that's a potential problem. Let's try a French fry first to see how let's try one that's not soggy. Basic fries, give it a try. Good flavor, but because they've been sitting there for a little while, being under a cloche may have removed some of the crispiness by kind of steaming them. See if I can pick up this chili dog. I mean, for 10 bucks, this is actually a pretty good value of food, and it is messy though. And again, I have no napkins, but let's try to give it a bite. If I can get hold together long enough to buy one. All right, here we go. Messy, but not bad. I mean, it's chili dog, so it is pretty much exactly what I was kind of hoping for, expecting. Not bad at all. And again, for 10 bucks, these were 10 each. You certainly could do worse downtown for a meal. It is just a shame that it was kind of a long wait to get the food, well, to order the food first, and then get the food. But the food itself, the ultimate results, not bad. So let's finish refueling and, I don't know, maybe go back to the vendor's hall. All right, so the sun is starting to set. The vendors hall is about ready to close anyways. And I think we've done about all there is for us to do today. There's no concerts tonight. They're gonna do the showing of the AMV contest, but we're not gonna stay for that. So I think it's a good time to call it a day and head on home. And we will be back here again tomorrow for day 3, which, you know, for you watching, will be in mere seconds. So yeah, let's head on home, get cooled off, and come back for day 3 of SacAnime Summer 2022.
I think this is the most. I don't want to be an adult no more.
Hello, Potato, and welcome to day 3 of SacAnime Summer 2022. It is meant to be hotter today than yesterday, but not as hot as Friday. And as you can see, the crowds are quite a bit lighter than on day 2, which is normal. You know, a lot of people, even though tomorrow is actually a holiday here in the US, a lot of people have already left and started their journeys back home. People have checked out of their hotel rooms, and Sunday's usually not the busiest day. That's why it's less expensive to buy a one-day ticket for Sunday than it is for Saturday. There's also generally like less panels, and there aren't any actual panels today that are particularly interesting. There's another one of the Pokemon voiced cast, but we're not going to go to that because we went to it yesterday. So really all we're here to do today is, of course, get our passes for next time for winter, and you know, take another couple spins around the vendor hall, just to see if there's anything that we missed. You know, there's still that one item, you know, that you have to get. But I mean, realistically, probably not. So yeah, let's go grab our tickets for next time, and then head on into the vendor hall, and just, you know, look for more cosplayers and any, you know, last minute deals. So let's go get our tickets. Usually they're here in the hotel itself, sometimes in the vendors hall, but we'll see. I think last time actually it was in the vendors hall, but we'll see since we're here at the Sheraton if we can pre-buy here at the Sheraton. So despite there being the sign here for pre-registering, you don't actually pre-register over here. We're going to have to go over into the vendors hall and pre-register this. Let's head over that way. Well, good news, they do have the escalator fixed today, so that's nice. All right, so we got our tickets for the winter show. That is settled. So that's pretty much the only absolute must for today is getting our passes for next time. So now, yeah, it's just going to be kind of wander around and look for more cosplayers and look for that one special item that has just eluded our gaze to this point. not as pirate life for me, so.
Look, Raven.
Let me put my tickets right in the picture so I know where. Thank you.
They have Gudetama slime. I'm assuming this has a face on her. Gudetama. Oh, there we go. There's the face. That's cute. I guess this would be a rotten Gudetama. It's a much thicker slime, certainly.
Attention SacAnime attendees. How is your Sunday going? I can't hear you. How is your Sunday going?
They have packs and that's about it.
Stop, that laugh is perfect.
Thank you. But not as perfect as your smile.
All right, so the money has been spent. We've seen all the panels we're going to see, and we've seen a lot of really great cosplays. I want to thank everybody who let me record them, and they're great cosplays, and especially thank anybody who gave me a nice hello potato. Okay, but I think it is time to head on out and back to the Voidspace, where we will give some final thoughts on this year's convention and look at all the things we wasted our money on. So, yeah, let's head out that way. And wristbands down. We are back in the temperature-controlled Voidspace, out of the hot, hot summer sun. Finally and thankfully. And so yeah, so day 3, not as hot as day 1, but hotter than day 2. I'm glad it's the end of summer, because I know the whole next week, which will be the week preceding when you potentially can see this, is going to be like 110, 111 plus. So I'm glad that Labor Day marks the end of the summer, because it clearly has so much connection to our seasons. But we are back, and that is another SacAnime Summer in the history books. And, a few thoughts. Now, of course, I was not able to go to the winter show this year because that was the actual week that I got sick. So we were in quarantine for pretty much most of January, or at least, trying to be distanced from all other potentially uninfected human beings. So not counting, say, SacAnime Spring over at the Fountains, this was my first show of the year. And it was good. Definitely feels like we're getting more back to where we were before the world ended. Feel like we're getting kind of settled more in to the new convention center. I'm glad to see that we're returning to fan-run panels. I don't believe those were going at the last summer show, and of course I don't know if they were at winter or not because I wasn't there. But there weren't any that particularly interested me this year. The ones that I really enjoy, like WYSIWYG Visions and 5th Gen Not Pokemon, I don't know if they just weren't around, if they were different shows, if perhaps they've just outgrown the whole convention panel thing during the last couple of years of shutdowns and changes and the birth of our new world. And perhaps they're just not doing conventions anymore. I don't know. But I do miss them. And if they ever come back, I will be there in line to see new panels from them, or heck, even, I guess, reversioned of old panels. See, we only went to a couple presentations. We did go to the Pokemon for Kids voice actors, and we went to the Teen Titan panel with the voices for Raven, Cyborg, and Beast Boy. And interesting point, pretty sure that neither Cyborg nor Beast Boy are actually acting. It seems like that's just kind of who they are, or at least the line between the characters and the real people may be a little thin. Not a complaint. It was a very entertaining panel. I wish we had been allowed to record it so I could, throw some footage of that in here, but they don't allow it because they do their own recording. I'm sure those videos are somewhere. If you want to see them, you can probably find the SacAnime Summer panels hosted on something, I don't know, Unlocked or YouTube or somewhere. Maybe check the SacAnime page and see if they have links. Be a good show. Maybe not a great show for cosplayers. I think there were less of them than normal just because it was so hot, which is why I have so much respect for those who did brave that heat and put on full body owl costumes and furry costumes and but there were less of the people in floor length coats and fur than we normally do see there, and I think that's very smart on their parts. I didn't even wear any of my normal convention shirts because I didn't want to get all sweaty in them. So the only thing I feel like I want to expand on a little bit more before we get into the actual haul portion of this video is the lunch at the Pacific Market Bar. I think that was a fairly kind of abrupt video where I talked about the food itself, just because we had been waiting rather a long time for it, and I wanted to eat. Now, the food. The food was perfectly competent. Those chili dogs were pretty much exactly what I was hoping they would be. They weren't like some weird fancy chili with chunks of onions and tomatoes and bell peppers in them. It was almost certainly canned chili, like Denison's or like First Street or Kirkland, or it was clearly some sort of store brand chili, or canned chili at least. And that's fine on hot dogs with nacho cheese. That is exactly what I was hoping that would be. And for $10, I mean, that's not the best price in the world, but for where I was, that was a great value for the price. I mean, that was a full meal for $10. And I absolutely hope that it did well, because I would love to do that again at the winter show with maybe some more anime themed titles for the food. I mean, they're just normal food, but I liked the idea behind it. I liked the price, and I liked the food. One thing I didn't like was the service, and that's not the servers' faults. They clearly were not fully staffed. I don't know if it's an issue of they can't get staff because of the wages they offer, or if they didn't expect that these lower priced items would generate as much business as they did. But our time from getting in line for food to actually eating was about an hour, and there was some severe miscommunications going on. First of all, there's no signage telling you where to go for the food, to seat yourself, to wait to be seated, to stand in line. Eventually, we figured out we were supposed to stand in line at the bar and order food there. But I guess while we were in line, table service started. So rather than tell us all to just go take seats and they take our orders at the tables, they let us continue to stand in line and then stand there, wait for the food to be brought to us, and then go take a seat. And the problem with this is that, aside from the fact that I'm pretty sure people who got table service got faster service, is that it seemed like the people working the bar weren't given the same information that the table servers were. For example, we were told when we ordered the only drinks available were in cans, Pepsi and Sierra Mist, which makes me wonder what they do when somebody orders a rum and Coke if they don't have fountain sodas. But when I was seated and had my food, the table next to us had fountain drinks. They had glasses of, I'm going to guess Pepsi, if that's what the Pacific Market Bar sells. And, that was a little annoying. Also, we never got any utensils. So those chili dogs were not the kind, we also never got napkins. Luckily, my wife had some in her bag. But those chili dogs were not the kind of, not really hand-eating food, especially with no napkins. So I know it's a labor issue and it's a management issue, and it's not an issue with the servers or the Pacific Market Bar staff at all. They were doing the best they could do with the staff that they had, and they did a good job. I still left, 25% tip. I hope the person that actually did it was doing all the running around, got that, not the server who never talked to us. But I would absolutely be willing to go back and give that another try in January if they do it at the winter show again, just with the hopes that maybe they sort out some staffing issues. But aside from that, I think it was a good idea, just not executed as well as it could have been. All right, so that's it for the thoughts. Enjoyed the show, good show, way too hot. Air conditioning inside the convention center worked really well. Maybe except for the busiest part of the day on Saturday. It was still pretty sweaty in there at that point. And there's only so much you can do when you have probably near capacity crammed in that building. Air conditioners can only do so much. But now, on to the haul. And at the end, we do have a couple blind bags to do. So if you like that sort of stuff, you can scrub ahead or just stick around and watch. But I went into this with the intent of not buying as much stuff as usual, and I'm not sure I succeeded in that end. But we didn't buy any Pops. We didn't buy any action figures, not Figma, not Revoltech, not Black, not Legends. No action figures. So we did succeed in that point. We did, however, buy, I think, more in some other categories. We also found a thing we've been looking for 2 years, so that's awesome. But let's start, I think, with the plush and with the biggest thing. That's mostly why I want to start with the plush, because it has the biggest thing in it. And after that, I can reset the camera to be a little bit lower down for these smaller items. But the biggest item, the biggest thing is my wife's, and that is this massive plush Hello Kitty. It's very soft. It feels like almost like maybe it could be a, oh, there goes the wristband. Oh well, we'll never see that again. It feels almost like maybe it could be an arcade prize or something. It is, it just says 10 Sanrio on the tag. Of course, it's all written in Japanese, so I can't read any of it. But hey, if you can, go ahead, tell me if that's anything interesting. I'm guessing it's just largely warning labels and copyright notices. But this was the last one the booth had, and my wife liked it, and I probably paid way too much for it. But that's standard when you buy things at an anime convention. Is you generally pay way too much for them, and I mean that's to be expected. But it's nice, and she's happy with it, so I'm happy with it, so we're all happy with it. Now we go smaller from here, but still plush. So we'll leave the camera where it is for now. So if you go back to the SacAnime Spring video, the one that was in Roseville, my wife picked up she'd been buying from this one plush booth. I'm sure it's in the video somewhere. But the spring show, she bought, having bought all the little potted plants with faces on them that they had, she bought a plush boba tea. So this time, now we move on to that collection, she got this one. The green plush boba tea, the Boba Buddies. To me, it looks like he's a matcha tea because he's green, but apparently, according to the guy at the counter, he's just the green one. I guess they don't have names or anything. Hashtag Boba Plush. So they're called Boba Buddies, but it's hashtag Boba Plush. So very cute, very soft, very squishy. It will almost certainly end up on the coffee bar somewhere. I think we're running out of room for plush on the coffee bar because we have, of course, coffee and tea implements on the coffee bar. But it's very cute, very angry looking, and it kind of matches well thematically with the series we have on there from Kimchi Kawaii called Priest of Poffy. I've done videos on that stuff before as new items have released and come in, and today is no exception. We do have this, the Pink Mukaron from Priest of Poffy, part of the, or rather from Kimchi Kawaii, part of the Priest of Poffy line. And it's one of the older ones. It's one we didn't have. I think the newer ones have like a harder bottom on them. But we have a few. I know we have the unicorn Mukaron. We have, is it the purple one? I think maybe the purple one. I think we have like a sprinkle one as well. But yeah, it's we're running out of plush to get from her. She needs to make some new stuff because we're pretty much caught up. In fact, we ended up buying more stuff from her. We'll get on to it in a minute. But she was doing a BTS special. No, not the Korean boy band, but back to school. So if you spent $40, you got a little Punny Buns notepad and a Punny Buns folder. And we've gotten Punny Bun stuff before as well. We have the hamburger bun. We have, what else do we have? We don't have the bread loaf there. I know we have a couple Punny Buns. I don't know what they are, but I'm sure I've done videos on them or featured them in videos. So you can always search for Kimchi Kawaii on my channel and find what videos I talked about that stuff in. And yeah, so if you bought $40 worth, you got one of these. And we got 2 of each. Because, yeah, we went back a couple of times to catch up on a collection of her stuff that we've gotten stuff from before, but not as, say, studiously as we do the plush. And we'll get onto that in a minute, but first we have one more plush to look at, and that is this. This is from Cuddly Potatoes. I have picked up stuff from them before. I actually have a... You can't see it because it's right above Hello Kitty's head there, but that picture I got a couple years ago, maybe it was last summer, I think older than that though, of a potato that says, being a person is getting too complicated, time to be a potato. And I figured, you know, how could I not get a potato corn? Yep, it is a cuddly potato that is also a unicorn. And I got the version with the key tag, and I can always take that off there. So maybe I could hang it off of something so it could join the wall stuff here. But it came with a little certificate of adoption that I need to fill out. And yeah, it's a cute, very, very squidgy. It's got like a beanbag belly here to, I guess, to help it sit straight, and maybe probably helps it hang at the right angle too. Yeah, very cute. It's a potato. I mean, how could I not get a potato? All right, so from here on, things do get smaller. So we're going to go down there to look at them. So as you know, in this house, we do collect pins, and a couple years now at this point, maybe back during the end of the world, Kimchi Kawaii started to kind of expand on the Priest of Poffy line. She actually expanded on a whole bunch of different things. She did a lot of new stuff during the last couple years. But she expanded on the Priest of Poffy line by creating a line called Persona. So what they are, is they're the Priest of Poffy drinks turned into, like, furries. Like, semi-anthropomorphized cats. So my wife picked up a couple of those. We have the Matcha Kitty, which has her done up in a, was it yukata, I think is what that's actually called? Or kimono? I probably shouldn't have tried to name it at all, but she's dressed for some sort of a festival. I'm guessing maybe a spring one. And she's carrying a little version of the actual cup version of her. And she also picked up the dark roast, which of course is done up in a witch style. This came out, I think, a couple years ago as a cup, but there is the little mini cup version of it as well. And the green on here looks like it should glow in the dark, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't. It does like fluoresce under black light, but it doesn't seem to actually charge up and glow. But it still looks cool under a black light. If you had, I don't know, if you were wearing this and you went somewhere with black lights, that would still certainly look cool. But those are not the only pins we picked up. Oh, no, because we decided that now would be a good time to catch up. In past videos, I have shown the normal Barista Coffee pins, but we only had a few of them. We didn't have like the whole collection of the coffee cups. But you know what? We do now, because my wife picked up all of the cup pins that we did not already have. And they were, I think, 12 each or 2 for $20. So we just got caught up. There's still stuff like the Danish pastry and I think the biscotti we don't have pins of, but we have all the cups. And going from when I did it, we can get them to. Oh, these are double pin backed. I did not realize these are double pin backed until like just now. I hadn't looked at the backs of them. Of course, obviously not Mickey pin backs, but is that now it's probably not as good as we're gonna get them on camera. Let's try to get them all facing up towards the lens. There we go. So going from left to right, we have espresso, ginger cat latte, decat, salty caramel, French roast, and the original cappuccino. My wife thinks that she like discontinued this. I don't know if she meant the plush or the pin, but we have a couple different versions of the plush, so that's kind of fine for us either way. But yeah, this I think catches us up on all of the cups that are in production currently. Like I said, there are some of the like pastry ones, like the Danish pastry and the biscotti, that I don't believe we have. But this does catch us up for the cup pins, and yeah, you can see why we qualified for 2 sets of the back to school special, because we actually went to the booth at least twice, maybe 3 times to get all of this. So while we're down here, I do have one more pin. This one's purely mine, and it is this. When we went to the booth to get our SacAnime tickets for the winter show, we saw on the counter that they had pins. They were, I think, $5 each. So, yep, I picked up an official SacAnime pin, just a rubber back, very light, so you could stick it on to, your bag or your costume. Or it's not a locking back though. I would be a little afraid to. I'd be afraid of it, getting caught and falling off. I used to have a bag that had pins on it together, and I lost one of them one time, and I was able to replace the pin. It was one that I was able to get again, but it did move me towards switching that bag out and retiring it and getting one that didn't have bits that could fall off. So I'm not sure. I'll probably put this somewhere in here, maybe on the little zombie with the Ashens pin. Maybe we'll go with that. Yep, it's very cute. It's got Hoshi on it. I can't get too close to the camera, of course, because it just gets blurry. This camera does not like things getting close to the lens. Yep, it's small and cute. And finally, I have an official SacAnime pin. So our next item's a little bit bigger, and it's probably the best find of the convention for us, because it's something we've actually been looking for 2 years. And it is this, yes, a pair of mini ears. Of course, we're doing this year the Mickey Mouse, the main attraction, but 2 years ago, back in 2020, they did the first series, which was Minnie Mouse, the main attraction, because it was kind of a follow-up to having done a year of Mickey Mouse in 2018, so Minnie got her own year. And if you're not familiar, if you don't watch those videos, basically what the main attraction line is it's back then a Minnie Mouse paired with a famous Disney attraction. The Minnie Mouse version focused more on Disneyland. The Mickey Mouse version is focusing more on the Magic Kingdom. But back then, 2020, Shop Disney was absolute hot garbage, and they handled the release of Minnie Mouse the main attraction absolutely atrociously. And of course, this was in the middle of the end of the world. Things were shutting down. Stores were not open. So they couldn't do it in store like they normally would, just to split the load between stores and online. And of course, now they've closed all the stores. So that ultimately just eliminates that problem altogether, I suppose, in a way. Not a good way, but a way. But during that collection, the one piece we wanted that we never got was, and I think it would have been like June. Well, actually, it should say on here, shouldn't it? I should say what part this is. This was part 5, so it would have been May. We never were able to get the Tiki Room ears. And we'd ordered them. I mean, of course, they sold out instantly, because Shop Disney's site back then was, again, just absolute hot garbage. It's not perfect today, but it is a million times better than it was 2 years ago. But of course it sold out instantly, and then, you know, it kept popping back up and being available again, and we'd either miss out on it, or, and this is the most frustrating, my wife actually got one, got it in her bag, got it ordered, got the confirmation, then got a cancellation notice, and then the next day it went up for sale again, and she wasn't able to get it at the time. So for 2 years, kind of on and off, we've been searching for these ears, and we're at one of the regular booths. It's one of the ones that has all the Loungefly bags at it. We've seen them before. I wouldn't say I know the person that runs it, but I am familiar with her going back quite a ways. And we've bought stuff from her before. She's fairly reputable as far as I know. I've never found that she's sold us anything inappropriate. But she had a bin of Minnie Mouse, the main attraction items. She had like the Dumbo hip sack. She had the Pirate's backpack. And so I thought I'd look through that because I saw there were ears in there. And lo and behold, there they were. The one piece we were missing from Minnie Mouse, the main attraction. The Tiki Room ears. So now, 2 years after the fact, we can finally say this collection is complete. So is it the most appropriate thing to have bought at an anime show? Probably not, but we've bought stuff from her there before. I know we bought some like the 65th anniversary pins from her, but I think that was at a SacAnime swap meet, maybe at a Roseville anime or Anime Roseville. I don't know, I remember it was at the grounds though. And we bought stuff from her before, and again, it's as far as I can tell, it's legitimate. It's got the tags. Nothing screams inappropriate. My wife has actually been looking at like ordering this from like Amazon or eBay, and she's always been unsure about it because, you know, you get knockoffs on there. But at this point, I think we don't care so much if it's knockoffs as much as we do having a complete collection. And I don't know, it looks legit to me, and that's good enough. While we're down here low, I almost forgot a couple other small things. One is not something that I bought, as something that I rescued, and that's this like little hideous, little swing-bodied Chucky figure. I think it's meant to like hang off your backpack or phone or something. It's got a really, really hideous face. I don't know how well you can see that on camera. I can't get too close to the lens, otherwise it's just going to get all blurry. It may be blurry already. I'm honestly not sure, but. I don't know if they made it in the video or not, but I found him on the ground outside the convention center, like in a very high traffic area, doing his level best to not get trampled. And first, I just shoot a little video of it, people walking past it, but like, I can't leave him there to that fate. I don't know if somebody threw him away or if he fell off their bag. I mean, the chain's not broken or anything, so I don't think he would have come unhinged or anything. Maybe he fell out of a pocket. I have no idea. But I couldn't leave him there, so I rescued him, and now we have this incredibly ugly little Chucky charm. And of course, the booth that sells the custom minifigures was there again, which is to say knockoffs. And I bought figures from them in the past. I got Freddy and Jason and the girl from The Ring. Was it Sadako or I guess Samira in the American version? My Five Nights at Freddy's figures came from them. My Deadpool came from them because I can't get an official one of those because that kit's like $600. Gwenpool, Deadpool the Duck. I've gotten a few figures from them over the years. And I figured, they had some more kind of horror-themed ones I'd get for the Halloween display. That'll be going up in the next couple of weeks. So I picked up Sam from Trick or Treat. Got the lollipop, his mask. Of course, these are knockoff figures, so they do come apart maybe a little bit easier than a real Lego figure would. I don't know if the head comes out or not, but it's all black. It looks like a Jango Fett, or not Jango Fett, like a Mandalorian head. So probably wouldn't be anything to look at anyways. It's not like meant to look like his head without the mask or anything. Yep, it's nicely printed front, back, and sides, which is pretty good for a knockoff figure. And there's like 3 for $10, so look, I'm gonna get one. I might as well get 3. And I saw that they had Pennywise. I'm not sure why he has 2 balloons, but he does. And yeah, so we picked him up. Again, decent printing on him. And he, of course, is the real Pennywise, the Tim Curry Pennywise, the proper, correct, real Pennywise. But because they were 3 for $10, stand up. The balloons make him a little front heavy if you don't lean him back. Because they were 3 for $10, I also picked up the newer Pennywise. Again, very nice printing, honestly. For a knockoff figure, these are really well printed. The hair is a good sculpt. Pretty sure that's an original sculpt, too. I can't think of a sculpt like that on a normal minifigure. I've seen minifigures with hair like that, not not red, but that hairstyle. But yeah, I think that's an original sculpt for them. And it's arms a little stiff, waist's a little loose, but it'll look just fine in the Halloween display. Okay, so of course you can't go to the anime show without buying some manga. And yep, I bought a few volumes of manga. I got the last 2 volumes of Haganai, I Don't Have Many Friends, which, if you are not familiar with that, it's I originally started reading it because I was looking for something similar to Watamote, kind of slice of life about an awkward person with no friends. And this sounded like it was going to be the thing. It's not, but it is quite entertaining. I guess it's based on a series of light novels. I know there's 2 seasons of an anime for it, and I guess there's some live action movies as well. But the last 2 volumes have come out, I guess, sometime in like probably the last year. It's the last time I bought volume 18, was about a year ago probably. And the other 2 volumes have come out since then. 20 is supposed to be the last one, even says the end on the back. And I've really enjoyed reading it. The only complaint I really have over it is a little over-sexualized. Like, to the point that I'm glad my wife's usually with me when I buy these things, because otherwise I would, I don't think the covers in either of these ones are too, well, there, that's pretty bad. Yeah. It can be a bit much at times, but the story's good, and the characters are good, and so, I mean, I've enjoyed it for that more than anything else. And I bought a bunch of volumes of Way of the House Husband. I already had volume 4, but I just realized taking them out in here, I didn't get volume 5, so I still am missing a volume, but at least I can leave 3 and 4. I've enthused about Way of the House Husband before. If you watch, I've talked about it on like Weekend Magic before, and the rest of these are all upside down. And should have been the other way around before I started recording them. But basically, short version, Way of the House Husband is about a mobster who has given up the life to be a house husband and take care of his wife. And it's a lot of fun. It plays with a lot of the tropes you get in like Yakuza style like games and mangas and anime, but turns them very much on their ear in a very satisfying and entertaining way. And there's like 2 series of the anime up on Netflix, so if you want to give it a try and you have Netflix, that's where you can do it for no additional cost. We're in the home stretch here. Let's do one more big item. Let's do that so I can find a place to put it over here. Let's put you up there for now. There we go. And that's something I actually looked at SacAnime Spring and ended up not buying. I bought a card game instead because they'd sold out of the board game. But Capital Books, which is a bookshop downtown, not too far from the convention center, had a booth again just like last summer. And they had a whole stack of it, and about the same price. No real deals because they are a local bookshop. But, you know, it's good to support local businesses. So I picked up the Cowboy Bebop board game. Cowboy Bebop Space Serenade, 1 to 4 players. You can play it by yourself if you are a sad and lonely individual who doesn't have friends who'll play with them. But the big thing is that it's got a 2-player mode, which is nice because a lot of these games are for 3 players and above, and we are a sad and lonely couple with no friends to speak of to come and play these games with us. But it looks interesting. You get to go bounty hunting. It's got miniatures of Spike, Jet, Faye, and Ed, and the boss, Vicious. So maybe we'll revisit this at some point and do a video on it. I say that whenever I buy these board games, and I never do it. But maybe I will. I generally don't run out of packets of weird crisps to try that I have time to actually like do a board game video, because I mean those take a while because you have to read the instructions and set it up and the whole thing. All right. Couple more small things, and then we're on to blind bags. Yes, multiple blind bags. 1 big one, 1 small one. Next is this, something my wife picked out. A little booth there that was selling a whole bunch of these. Not all of them necessarily thematically appropriate to the show, but I mean, after all, SacAnime doesn't really promote itself as an anime show anymore. It's pop culture with an anime twist. So we picked up, and of course, you know, they always have lots of Star Wars stuff anyway, so that's not anything new. But they had a booth that had all these little like laser cut wood boxes for things like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Night Before Christmas, Friends. And most of them, honestly, listen to either, there weren't things we were interested in, like they had Harry Potter, which was kind of cool, and Night Before Christmas was kind of cool. I really would have liked if they'd had a Haunted Mansion one. They had Pirates of the Caribbean, but it was the movie, not the ride, so it didn't play Yo Ho, Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life for me. But yeah, these are little music boxes. So it's got etched into it, May the Force be with you. And when you play when you turn the crank, it's not a wind-up, it's a crank one. And I'm going to assume this is not going to create a content match for YouTube. Let's find out. If it's silent, you'll know it did. Yeah, just a cute little thing. $10. It's got looks like Kylo Ren on the front there. Chewbacca, Yoda, and looks like Darth Vader. Okay, so it's Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, Darth Maul, and I guess Emperor Palpatine. Yeah, it was $10. It was cute, and we figured, why not? And similar to why not, last year I bought an item from, I think it was last summer. It might have been at SacAnime, one of the SacAnime swap meets before that. But I bought an item from Citrus Atelier. And, yep, there's their details if you are interested in checking them out. But yeah, we bought a couple of little, like, protection vials, like magic spell stuff, because why not? And I thought I'd kept mine in here. My wife put hers in her space. But I thought I'd kept mine in here, but I don't know where I put it if I did. I'm guessing if it is in here, it's behind something. But I bought another one of her little protection vials. Of course, there shouldn't be any video of her booth because it's an artist alley, and artist alley in general is a no photos area. At least not of the stuff. I'm sure I have like cosplayers in artist alley because the alleys are usually a little bit more open there. But yeah, I bought another little magic spell protection vial. This one's for good health, which I think the last one I got was also health. It was like health and creativity or something like that. But I figured, you know, you can't have too much health. Got to double down on it. There's some various crystals and herbs and such in here that's supposed to help keep me healthy, but figured why not? I certainly could use the help. Also, I liked the marble. The marble was eye-catching to me. And the was it like rose quartz or something down there instead? Or as well, not instead. Yeah, I thought it looked nice. It will go somewhere to help, hopefully, keep me healthy. All right, so that is the main haul. That is it. That is, would you say that we succeeded in buying less stuff? Maybe not. Maybe not. But I think we spent less. Maybe not by a lot, but I think we did spend less. Oh, that blocks your face, doesn't it? There we go. I think we did spend less. So we're going to finish off as we generally do with these videos. I think we didn't at spring because I just didn't buy a blind bag. Well, I bought a blind bag, and it's actually similar to the one that I have here. Our first blind bag is another dice blind bag. Because honestly, I mean, I really, I thought that was really cool when I did one of those in the last convention video. Now, these aren't the same series as that, unfortunately. These are a different series of dice. So I'm not getting more of that same set. But this contains one set of plastic RPG dice and one metal die. I didn't buy anything from Kurheim Item Shop this time, but they were there. So here's our metal die. We got something lovely green with gold trim on it. What is this one? A D... Well, that's heavy. D8? No, D10. It's D10, but it goes by tens. Yeah, it's got a good roll to it. That's not bad. I mean, it's the only one we have like this, but I would definitely... Some of them blind bag dice seem like a better deal to me, I think, than other blind bags. I don't know why. Maybe because they actually have a use if you play the kind of games that use them. All right, so let's see what our main thing is, though, because that was our bonus metal die. What's our main die? Yeah, kind of... kind of orange and swirly, kind of an orange crush. There's not like a card, because I know the other one, the other series had names. Yeah, this one doesn't seem like it has a name. This one's just, we'll call that creamsicle. We'll call that orange creamsicle. How about that? It's not bad. Not the prettiest things ever, but certainly unique. I don't hate them. For 10 bucks, I don't hate them at all. All right, so finally we have the main blind bag. And I've very unwisely not left myself a lot of room to work with here by putting other stuff up. But let's see if we can't fix that a little bit now. There we go. Yeah, not a particularly attractive bag this time, but I picked it up from a booth that I haven't bought blind bags from before, in the hopes that it would increase my chances of getting something different. And this one is supposed to contain 3 statues. And I don't collect a lot of statues, so the chances of getting a statue that I don't have are really high, because I'm honestly, I prefer action figures more. But I have like a Midoriya and an All Might from Academia. I have actually 2 of the same Oscar Langleys, and last time I got one from Love Live, which I've only seen a couple episodes of. It looked cute, but it's not on any services that I subscribe to, so I've never watched the rest of it. So I feel there's a very good chance of getting figures I don't have in here. Also, a really good chance of getting ones from shows that I don't watch, because a lot of the statues this booth has on display are of scantily clad female dolls from shows that I've never seen, or ultimately Dragon Ball. So let's open up and see who we got in our blind bag. It's pretty much like 3 dolls for 40 bucks. This booth sells like the statues for, I think, like 30 a piece. So now obviously it's gonna be stuff that didn't sell, but it doesn't mean it won't be stuff that's good. And this is actually the same booth we got the Hello Kitty from. And the woman said it was lucky because it had a sign on it. So I don't know if that's they like put the sign on one that is a nice one and they gave it to me because I bought that Hello Kitty, or if she's just like blowing smoke. We'll find out in a second. I really do need to replace the blade in this box cutter. It is, I would have more luck cutting this with my my fingernails, I think. Well, they taped it up good. Give them that. I mean, it's not a pretty bag or anything, but it certainly is a well-sealed one. Oh, one more. All right, we're in. Haven't looked yet. I can't see in the bag, and you can't even see the top of the bag, so we're both going to be surprised here when I reach inside and pull out our first doll, which is Sailor Uranus Q Poskets. Oh, these generally go for 20 to 30 bucks on their own. It's not bad. I've never been, at least it's a show I've heard of. I know who Sailor Uranus is. I've never really watched Sailor Moon, because of course the American version originally was like super censored and, you know, geared towards girls. So I didn't watch it when I was younger, but not bad at all. Who's number 2? This is gonna be another Q Posket, and it is a Jujutsu Kaisen figure. Okay, well, this is a popular series, at least. It's not one that I watch. It's Megumi Fushiguro. Okay. I mean, it doesn't look like a bad figure. I don't think I'm gonna take it out. I know I normally take them out and put them together in these videos, but I don't feel like I'm going to do that. Yeah, I have no idea who that is. I'm familiar with the show. I know it exists. I'm going to assume he's somebody important in the show. But, yeah, not bad. Finally, it's got Sega markings on it. It's somebody eating an onigiri. I have absolutely no flipping idea. Apparently it's number, is this Demon Hunter or Demon Slayer? Because it kind of looks like the Demon Slayer logo to me. Who are you? Sales outside Japan only. Well, then why is all the writing in Japanese? Because that's a sticker covering up, oh, the real barcode, okay. I feel like this is one of those Sega arcade prizes. I have no idea who you are. The UFO table, that's a crane machine, isn't it? I was that looks like Demon Slayer to me, but hold on. Let me jump ahead and try to figure out who this is, or at least what it's from. Okay, so I was right. It is Demon Slayer, and apparently this is a premium Chokonose figure of Muichiro Tokito. See, I watched like the first dozen episodes of Demon Slayer, digging into it, felt like we were going very quickly into Bleach vibes. The animation was nice, the character designs were nice, but I felt like it was one of those shows that was going to get very, very repetitive very, very quickly, which is great if you are an adolescent boy, not so much for a guy in his 40s who actually kind of prefers slice of life stuff. I don't know. But yeah, those are our statues. 40 bucks. I mean, is that worth 40 bucks? I think that's worth 40 bucks. Are they figures I would have picked out on my own? No, absolutely not. But at least we haven't gotten something so obscure that I don't know what it is at all. All right, so I think this is where I will finally leave you. This feature-length video finally comes to an end. There's our haul. It was a good show. Looking forward to the winter. And I want to give one last big thanks to all the cosplayers who let me record some video of them, and especially to everybody who contributed with a Hello Potato. I hope you found this at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.